In history, different texts talks about spikenard, which is lavender. In Matthew, the 26th chapter, we know how Mary came in. She came in with an expensive bottle of perfume. The Bible calls it the alabaster box of precious ointment. She poured it over Jesus' head. The disciples, they got angry about it, and they said, why is she wasting this good money? She could have sold this and got money because it's worth a fortune, and she could have given it to the poor. According to history, the value of that spikenard was a year's worth of wages. Jesus knew what they were thinking when they were criticizing her for what she had done. But he said, you'll always have the poor among you. He said, but you won't always have me. She has poured this perfume on me today, he said, to prepare me for my burial. She will always be remembered for the act of kindness. When she poured that perfume on the head of Jesus that day, she was preserving his body until the resurrection. You know the story in John where Mary took the bottle of oil, the ointment, the expensive spikenard, and she anointed Jesus' feet and dried it with her hair. Again, spikenard is also mentioned in the Song of Solomon in the 4th chapter. Lavender is started from a cutting or a spread from the mother plant. Pruning is necessary to extend the life and proper growth. The conditions you provide determines what kind of species of lavender you will grow. Lavender is a tough plant once it's established. It loves the sun. It is good protection. It is good to protect your lavender from the cold by planting it by a brick wall or a stone wall. Lavender is the most prized because it keeps its fragrance after it's dead. Lavender is an essential oil that can uplift your life and mood, heal, entice in a variety of ways. It's a great secret weapon that would be good to have on hand at all times. A mother's love is pure and expensive. In fact, you cannot put a price on it. She is worth more than money can buy. No price can touch a true mother's love. When we were born, and the conditions that was provided for us started to shape our lives, it determines how we would grow. There was times when our mothers had to prune some things off of us. You can't let your child just grow up any way they want to grow because it can cause harm to them. You have to train them and cut them and prune them into the way where it will be they will grow in the right direction. They have to be established, grow strong, so they are older, so when they are older, that they will make the right decisions in life. Mothers always want what's best for their children. Mothers want their children to be protected from the cold of this world. What your mother has taught you will live on forever, even when she is gone. You will never lose in your mind, in your memories, the things that your mother taught you. We all take our mother for granted. We discard her words until she's gone. You realize that when something happens, you immediately think of your mother. And when you think of that and the things that your mother's taught you, it helps things to get you back on track and to re-energize you and help you to walk in the right direction. Only after my mother went away did I realize that her stories were piled inside of me in endless stacks. Mother's everyday life
used to go, oh, and oh, in repeating loops. I wanted to cry without a break. Her everyday words, which I didn't think so deeply about, which sometimes I dismissed as being useless, when she was with me, awoke in my heart like a tidal wave the day she went away. The tie that binds the mother and the child is of such pure and immaculate strength as to never be violated. Mother's ways are higher than others. Even when everyone else rejects you, mother accepts you with open arms. A mother's unconditional love is fervent. Even the battle against the gates of hell she rises up from her knees and stands unflinchable in the spite of the gaping war wounds. Children do not know the battle fought and the flood of tears that is shed and the agony that a mother goes through many times for them. It was once said, no matter how old you are, you always want your mother's acceptance. Mother's love is like the little bottle of lavender oil. It is good for a lot of things. Mother's love preserves her children. It can calm a crying baby. When she holds that baby, when it's had that small child, after a bad dream, it calms that child. The list goes on and on of what the mother does for her child and how she loves that child and feels for that child. To every mother here today, you are very precious and very valuable. No price can be put on the love that you have for your children. Young people and children, I want to tell you today, if you don't show your mother respect that she deserves, I suggest that you start today, because one of these days, all you're going to have is memories.